Welcome back, I'm DRN and this is Mechabellum, a 1 vs 1 auto battler with giant mechs blasting each other to bits with lasers and rockets. We're playing in this week's tournament. We just lost our first game, so we're going to have to fight our way up from the losers bracket to try and aim for second place. It's not ideal, but I don't mind. Tournament games are tournament games. Whoa, it popped early. There was still 14 seconds on the clock for me. Good thing I do my audio intro early and then get editing DRN to synchronize it. Dear me, this one almost caught me out. Well, there's only one choice here for me. It's Marksman Specialist because it comes with tanks and snipers. And the big orange Marksman for the tempo advantage. He's worth 200 gold on paper, but in practice he's worth far more. Just having a unit that can one-shot everything on the board at the start is so nice. And it gives me a lot of insurance if he goes flyer, because I run anti-attack on my Marksman. So with Marksman Specialist I don't have to worry about early Wraith or early Boat. It's very nice. And I suspect it's probably propping up the Marksman win rate in the Dazer, because Marksman overall feel a little bit weak right now. But that's pure conjecture on my part, so I'll stop hypothesizing and focus on the game at hand. Putting our big marksman in the midline so he's a bit safer. Don't want him dying and giving 5 times normal experience to our enemy. Because that's how we end up facing demon arclights that are unkillable. So he's Rhino Specialist with arclights and phoenixes. He needs chaff of his own, so he's going to get crawlers or fangs. So I'm going to start with crawlers because they're the best early game chaff. And we are the tempo player here, trying to make the most of these early turns before his Rhino lands on the board. Let's see what he's thinking. Ooh, all his phoenixes on one side. Good thing we've got the extra marksman over here. And he's gone fang as his chaff, so he's thinking late game. He's playing a very open midline right now. We could punish that next round with some phoenixes or wasps of our own, but it depends on how aggressive we want to play. And I'm not sure I want to commit that hard. Just thinking of options out loud. Sorry, I know it'd be frustrating to hear me think of these ideas and then not act on them a lot of the time, but I'm just trying to walk you through my thought process here. Another thing that's just jumped out at me is I need to think about vertical tanks, rather than always going horizontal with them, because then sometimes the phoenixes will waste shots where they both shoot at the same tank for massive overkill, particularly in later rounds if they get some levels. Oh, haven't been polite, haven't said good luck, have fun. Had too much to talk about at the start of this game. Right, where are we at? He's got a strong side and a weak side. So the key this round is going to be these phoenixes. The only thing we've got on the board that can kill them is our marksman. We need these tanks to hold the line long enough for our marksman to get the job done. Come on, you can do it. Yes, one down. Ooh, arclight and a phoenix, nice. One more shot, yes, yes, there we go. Love how they staggered the shots down for us. In theory, because the marksmen have always got a little bit faster fire rate than the phoenixes do, they should always shoot first. But there's always a little bit of variance in the firing speed of units, from shot to shot, to prevent them looking too robotic. So you can't always predict how an outcome's going to be. It keeps things interesting for me anyway. I'm thinking the haste module is the best long-term power for us here. So let's unlock Mustang. They're a great unit for carrying the item. We can only buy one set of them, but that's fine. We'll put them here fighting his strong side. Upgrade you, double the stats, half the price, and give them some chaperoning crawlers to keep them safe. It's dangerous to go alone. This side is absolutely fine, this side is the strong side, we've just got the extra pressure. So we've matched him with our strong side here now as well. The level up on this marksman is so huge for us, it means he can one-shot this arclight now. Let's see what he's gone for. Ooh, stormcallers. And he sold off some of his phoenixes, okay. So to counter these stormcallers, we're going to have to do a mobile beacon play with our crawlers, assuming I can afford the 100 cost unlock. And I don't forget, I do tend to get distracted quite easily. Right, so this is a bit rough for us. His stormcallers are a good answer to our Mustangs. Oof, the Mustangs just vanish. So now we're kind of committed to trying to save the Mustangs, keep them safe, because their crawler chaperones weren't quite enough, in the face of rockets raining death from on high. But our snipers are still reigning supreme. For now anyway, late game they won't be enough, we'll need to support them. So to save the Mustangs, we can either get range on them so they sit further back, get units with anti-missile tech like Sabertooths, or late game war factories, or never mind, speak of the devil and he doth appear. Wasps are a good answer too, even the fortress could be an answer as well, but I'm going with the Sabertooths. Let's position them like I would my Scorpions, but it's likely to also push him into Scorpion, which is a bit scary if we're showing both Sabertooths and Sledgehammers. We could preempt it by buying some of our own, but then we're kind of overlapping with our own Sabertooths, that's awkward. And he's already showing the answer to the Scorpion with the Stormcallers and the Phoenixes, though he is selling those. Tricky. Let's get another set of Mustangs in case he tries a jump drive play with his last set of Phoenixes. Or if he tries to pivot to a strong side over here instead. And then I think we have to take range on the Mustangs. It's too early to commit to an anti-missile tech, because then he could just start selling the Stormcallers. Ooh, he's gone Vulcan. I'm glad we've got range in our Mustangs to sit further away. Really hope we've got enough firepower to bring it down in time, before these Stormcallers decimate our lines again. thinking about Wraith right now as our answer to his Vulcan, in terms of chaff clear that it can't interact with. Something to force him on the back foot again. And he's not showing any anti-air right now, aside from the fangs. Hopefully we can get these saber-tooths and the snipers onto the Vulcan soon. There we go. If he commits to a third set of Stormcallers or a tech on them, then I'm going to go anti-missile on the saber-tooths. Oof. Nice. I like using Mustangs for cleanup because they move fast and they've got steady damage. You could also use Wasps in this role, but they've got a little bit of a suicidal tendency. Need to kill a bit more before our tower dies. Phew. That was closer than it should have been. Whew. Only just, even though we got the early tower snipe. Oh yeah, where's his medal from? Ooh, rookie group. Okay, not that impressive. Says me. Deja vu, I think. Yeah, let's do it. Let's balance out our haste module Mustangs. Let's upgrade you, double the stats, so we can help kill the Vulcan. Now, what do we need? He's got his Rhino, so this is his big tempo turn. We need a solid answer to all this lot. We've got good damage, but we're a little bit light on chaff clear compared to what he's got. So yeah, like I mentioned before, it's got to be Wraith here. Big chunky flyer that can deal with chaff nice and easily. Now, we want him arriving as our last set of crawlers gets there. I don't know. I think we want more of an impact, so I'll put it further forward. Now let's get mobile beacon and some crawlers going. If we do it like this, the front ones don't get caught by the mobile beacon and still run straight ahead if there's a missile. So we'll have some plucky survivors still able to do the job. That's the plan anyway. Right, 50 left over, not too much to worry about, just that Rhino really. If he's going to try and make the most use of it, I reckon he'll drop it over here on this side, so let's put a missile just as insurance. Try and delay any tower snipe and help our units kill it. Never mind, it wasn't needed. He's put his big Rhino right at the back. His only anti-air is fangs, so I think we're pretty secure right now, though we may have given a little nudge towards Phoenix by showing this. Distraction crawlers doing their job, pulling those missiles sideways. Now, this Rhino is going to suck a lot of shots here, but it's not a problem, barely an inconvenience for the big snipers and the saber-tooth. Loving it. His Vulcan stuck on our saber-tooth, perfect. And the Wraith can rain down death from above. He's struggling now. His big tempo turn has availed him nothing. He ran it into the wall that is our tank line and our snipers were ready. Great turn for us here. And now he has to commit to some anti-air, while we can build other units and develop other things. Let's try and give him 2 problems at a time, eh? Another damage item would be nice on some Mustangs, but I think it's the smoke here for us. Let's try and close this game out. If he doesn't shield, then he's fighting a massive uphill battle for 2 turns in a row. I think a single shield is enough coverage for us, because we're in the driving seat and we've got the health advantage. No, go on, we'll have a second shield for these Mustangs. They are doing a lot of work for us. I think we are pushing for the win here, so let's take temp range. Might be a bit premature. If this doesn't go to plan, we'll be down 300 gold next turn. Let's try something spicy. Let's put a cheeky flank over here. A Wraith and some crawlers is normally quite a nice little combo. And then let's force him with the mobile beacon to run towards the tower. Means we are sacrificing our distraction crawlers, but it might just win us the game. And that's a fair trade every day of the week. Let's do degen on the Wraiths. Normally has a huge impact on the whole battlefield, and makes them a lot harder to answer with anything less than 120 meter range. Right, let's see. Ooh, those are good shields. Our smoke does nothing. Oh dear. We may have pushed for the tempo kill too soon. Underestimated our opponent. Wow, anti-air marksman just annihilate our Wraith. There goes the degen beam. So with the smoke, that's 700 gold taken off the board instantly. Hopefully our flank can dig us out from a hole. These shields do not want to break though, ouch. I thought we were good for firepower. 1 down at last. Come on, take that tower before it leaves these snipers. Thank you. That might have just saved the round for us. Those marksmen insta-gibbing our Wraith. It just shows how reliant we were on that Wraith last turn. They're struggling so much now. Oh wow, he's put the damage up on this marksman. That's why it popped. He's a level 2 marksman doing double damage. Wow, even with the tower debuff, it still destroys a Wraith. We are back on the back foot, and I wasn't expecting that. We pushed plus 200 and took temporary range, and it didn't do a lot there. So I think we need to protect him with Wasps. Oh, and there's 3 good answers to Wasps just shown on the cards. Do we pivot and go triple Typhoon and try and get some techs on them? Yeah, I'm thinking triple Typhoon sounds good to me. He might go fort here, or expect us to go fort, but I think we've both got enough damage to burn through them, and we can still take Giants late game if we want to. Taking the missile tech on them gives us our own mini Stormcallers. Speaking of Stormcallers, let's not forget to do our mobile beacon. Let's use field recovery and sell you. Off to the great scrap heap in the sky. He's guaranteed to have a good answer to this. Either the Overlord or a sniper over here, I'm sure. So let's reappropriate these funds. The 4 R's of recycling. Reduce, reuse, repurpose, recycle. We jump straight to the final step. Right, so we've put down some fangs to distract these snipers. Hopefully buy us a little bit of time to do some work. These Stormcalls have lasted a while and have become a nuisance. I think we have to take the anti-missile tech. And let's spend our leftover 200 on some upgrades for our big tanks. And this is about as good as we can do in one turn, I think. Go on, you've talked me into it. I'm going to push plus 200, take temporary range, and upgrade these Mustangs at the back as well. Let's see what he's gone for. Whoa, what is this? Backline melting points. He thought we were going to go for the boat flank. Unlucky friend. Now those melting points are out of the fight for the whole round. Oh, Wraith is still not doing anything. Needs his own chaperone, some wasps to protect him. Stormcaller's still landing a lot of hits. Oh, the Typhoons are dying too fast. I was hoping to rely on them for damage. We've taken a chunk out of his front row, but this back row is going to be a problem. His snipers outrange ours, and a melting point emerging from the mist is a bit spooky. I got him. Told you we had quite a lot of damage. I think it's just our Mustangs now are doing the work, but they won't be able to answer. Ooh, actually. Whoa, his anti-missile did so much. Wow, I am legitimately impressed. I thought at the end of the round they became less effective and started missing, but he just became our own little iron dome and saved the Mustangs that could do the job. Very impressed. Ooh, choices here. We've shown that we like smokes, he's probably going to shield it again. But we can't just assume our opponent's going to play perfectly. Better go for it again and hope he makes a mistake. Let's recycle these guys, off to the great scrap heap in the sky once more. If all that flank did was make him misposition his melting points, it was still vastly worthwhile. Bit of an awkward smoke, just trying to push his backline further forward and make it hard to shield. Ooh, maybe we should have sold her instead. Well, we've committed to attack on it, let's protect her. Let's give her some chaperoning wasps, so she can strut her stuff on the front line. Shields on the wasps will make them a nightmare for the snipers to deal with. Another set coming a little bit later, that's probably too far back, let's go over here. Push, we're still trying for the win. I'd like temp range, but we definitely have to shield in case he smokes. Do we need a second shield? No, we're probably okay with this. So 100 left over. Has to be temp range, it just has to be. Don't forget the mobile beacon. Full set. The wasp behind me and I can't pick out just half the group. Let's try bringing them back in, because his midline still looks very open to me. Well, this should be interesting either way. Let's see what he's plotting. No shields? Oh, I could have had perfect smoke. No! I outplayed myself. I thought for sure he'd put shields down again. We could have been so much more greedy with the smoke, but never mind. Still bought us a bunch of time to bring the Lady Wraith and her chaperones to the front. Look at the degen beam doing so much work. Okay, it's hard to see, but everything with those little fuzzy electric little crackles on it is crippled and only hitting us for like half damage, and taking an extra chunk of damage in return. Come on, take that tower, that's the key. Let's unlock the front door, come on. Hit the tower, hit the tower, hit the tower. Yes! We need to do 1,200 damage, we need as much alive as possible. I think we've got it, I think we've got it. Come on. Yes! There we go. Never in doubt, right? I thought I'd thrown it away when I was pushing too early for the money. Whew. Right, analysis. So the wasps were the key there. Protecting this Wraith. And he didn't shield, even though I'd shown that I liked smoke earlier. 2 rounds ago. He didn't shield. I thought for sure he was going to shield the Stormcallers, so I thought I'd put it behind, but we could have been so much more greedy and put it further forward. But it bought us enough time to get the Wraith forward and cause some mischief. This little flank here was just a bit of fun, try and distract him, get a cheeky tower snipe, and then when he's busy dealing with that, if he did survive the round, we can punish and attack the front row. The Typhoons, 36 kills, 41 kills, 46 kills. It's not a huge amount, but it's not bad. It was mostly against chaff though. We had them quite far forward, so possibly I should have considered barrier instead, but we just needed some more range, and we needed an answer to his Stormcallers, so getting our own mini Stormcallers is kind of fun as well. And it gave us an option for a scaling threat, if we got to a point where we had a few levels on these guys. I do like turning my Typhoons into mini Stormcallers. He never really pressured our flanks. And these Mustangs, wow! Look at how much work these Mustangs did. We spent a fortune on them with range and items, and only had 2 sets of them to try and avoid baiting him into going Fire Stormcaller. I think they paid us back for having faith in them so handsomely. And it probably pushed him away from aircraft, which left him wide open to our Wraith and Wasp play that ultimately won us that final round. Very happy with those Mustangs. Still, it felt like a tough game despite the health discrepancy. Most of our round wins were quite scrappy. His Vulcans... I don't know where Vulcans lie right now. He's got range and Scorching Flames, so 2 techs on a 400 cost unit, and it's only got 24 kills. This one, level 2, 400 cost unit with an item, has been on the board for maybe 3 rounds now, 50 kills a round on average. All of it chaff, nothing substantial. So I don't think Vulcans are worth it right now. They die too easily to Scorpions, and they don't pose a big enough threat themselves. Anti-Missile Sabretooth actually impressed me this game. I think it's the first time it's ever impressed me. That round where it saved the Mustangs to win the round was huge. And then once we got the Typhoon missiles going, he was on the receiving end of the missiles, which was a nice Uno reverse card moment. I'm not convinced this many snipers made much sense. I'd much prefer if he had more chaff than snipers. Because right now he's got 6 snipers and what, 9 sets of chaff? I think 4 snipers is more than enough to cover the whole board. Until the super late game, and they were just there as an answer to my Wraiths, and we only had 1 Wraith in the end. Anyway, let's not over-egg the cake. This was a fun game. We got to try a few things out, and some things worked nicely for us. I'm just glad we got a win under our belt again. It's been a while. Let's see how much combat power we've gained or lost. Ooh, 16 MMR, nice. And almost 1,000 combat power, that's really nice. That'll help immensely with future seedings. And where are we at in the tournament? We're currently 9... No, that's not us. The game's trying to pull a fast one on us. Why is that person highlighted instead of me? There we are, we're 32nd. Ah, nice round number. Well, thank you for watching as always. Hope you had some fun here. Nice to get a win on camera at long last. If there's anything I've done wrong or you disagree with, please feel free to let me know. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next round of the tournament.